the manager of intellectual property and licensing at WISIS. I'm not surprised that it's been a difficult transition coming back from our Posters and Innovation Showcase to this final session. This was, I believe, our highest number of posters and highest number of innovation showcases that we've ever had at the Spark Symposium. So a round of applause for that. Fantastic presentations over there, really interesting topics that everyone's been working on. So congratulations to all of our students that took part in that portion of our symposium. I also wanted to call back to our first session of the day when we had our student panelists come up here and present their research. That was also a kind of a first or milestone for WISIS, because I think to our knowledge, we haven't had a session like that that's been solely led by students presenting research projects. So I thought they did a fantastic job. And for the faculty in the room, I don't know if you caught it or took note, but all the students kept within their allotted time. So just saying. All right, so as was mentioned earlier, there is our CVent app for the Spark Symposium that is having you engage with others, keep an eye on the agenda and what's happening, and different interactions with that app are counted as engagement, and there's been a leaderboard that I think there's been some position changing and jockeying over the course of the day so far, but we do have a $25 gift card for the individual who scored the highest level of engagement within the app today, and that goes to Caleb Rigoli from UW-Platten. So Caleb, where are you? You can stay there. Our team member, Kate, is coming over to give you your prize. Congratulations. All right, and then moving on to our final programming piece for today before we head into our networking reception. This is our Innovator of the Year Awards. So we wanted to conclude today's event with these awards and announce their recipients, and this is in fact the Carl E. Gulbranson Innovator of the Year Awards. So this award is bestowed upon Universities of Wisconsin faculty, staff, students, alumni, or community members who make exemplary contributions as a WISIS innovator. And the award is named in honor of Carl Gulbranson, who we mentioned was the managing director for WARF and was instrumental in the founding of WISIS and supported our organization throughout his entire tenure. And Carl recognized that there are brilliant, collaborative, and motivated innovators all across Wisconsin. And the recipients this year truly embody these characteristics. So with that, I'd like to announce our first awardee and then invite Arjun back up to say some words about that person. Our first awardee is alumni of UW Green Bay, Sydney Gang.
Thanks, Tony. It really is a special award, and when I started, we were giving out one of these per year to an inventor, and I think that each year we've kind of thought about how else we can recognize people who are engaged with WISIS and kind of expand the definition. And just to give you a little bit of an insight into how we do the selection, each month we have a regular meeting of our team where people will nominate potential awardees who are deserving of this throughout the year, and then as we get close to this event, then we'll review all of those nominations and then make a selection. So it's really a collaborative effort within the WISIS team. So congratulations, Sydney. Sydney is a Green Bay alum and the founder of Skip the Warm-Up, and she won both the 2022 UW Green Bay Innovation On-Ramp Competition and our WISIS Big Idea Tournament for that business. Skip the Warm-Up is a heated sleeve for athletes to to wear to help prevent injuries, reduce pain, and maximize performance. And maybe she'll tell you more about it when she comes up to say a few words. She's working on working with her engineer to test and refine the different versions of her product, and is on track to begin selling this by the end of this year. This is very impressive. She graduated from UW Green Bay with a degree in business administration with an emphasis on pre-law and entrepreneurship. And she's entering her 3rd year of law school at Marquette, which is, again, how she's managing a business and going to law school. Again, maybe she'll give us those secrets, but, and she was an intern with us from 2024 to 2025. You know, I can tell you that I've had a couple of interactions with Sydney, and she's just somebody with a lot of passion. She's really got the best attitude, always cheerful, and always willing to help out. So we're really excited because she's really deserving of this award, and you know, we're hopeful that you can make this business a success, but we know that you'll have a lot of successes in the future. So congratulations. First of all, your picture. You gotta wait for the chair to arrive.
Okay, mine's not going to be as nearly as good as Arjun's speech, so I apologize. But hi everyone! I'm so thankful for this incredible honor. This award means so much to me, not only because I'm a student, but because I hope to build a career in helping people bring their ideas to life, like you guys. And for those of you who don't know, WISES has actually played a huge pivotal role in my journey in entrepreneurship. Back in 2022, when I entered the Innovation On-Ramp competition, I initially was rejected. But I did it for extra credit. But luckily, I'm a big extra credit person. But luckily, someone dropped out, I was able to enter, and I ended up winning. So then that was kind of my spark, and I was like, wow, maybe I can bring something beyond the classroom. And I've never looked back. It's been a long time, but Skip the Warmth is coming. But since then, I've had the privilege of working with the Innovator Ventures team and presenting this great symposium. I've grown alongside so many brilliant and driven people. This is an incredible field to be in. Please stay here. It just gets better from here. And now, as I prepare my future as a lawyer, I know this award is going to help me relate to my clients more by showing the entrepreneurs I work with that I relate to them. But I also share their passion, their risk, and their drive to bring their ideas to life. This award inspires me to keep going, hopefully to eventually launch Skip the Warmth. It's the slowest process ever when you're in law school, but it's fun. And I am so excited to keep contributing to Wisconsin's entrepreneurial ecosystem. There are so many great people here. But thank you again to WISES and anyone who's encouraged me along the way, as well as all of you who believe in the power of innovation. I'm very excited for what comes next. Thank you.
Switching things up a little bit, after I announce our next awardee, I'm going to invite Wilson Fay from our Innovative Ventures division to say some remarks about that individual, as he's had the opportunity to work closely with him in his time engaging with WISES as an innovator. So our next Carly Goldbranson Innovator of the Year is alumni of UW-Platteville, Isaac Lang.
As Tony mentioned, Isaac is a graduate of UW-Platteville and focused on civil engineering with a double concentration in structural and geotechnical engineering. And with that passion for the world and understanding engineering, he ended up disclosing a lot of different inventions to us over the years to WISES. 3 total disclosures over his time at UW-Platteville. And that's when I was first introduced to Isaac. He came up with this idea and was trying to figure out how to conceptualize it, and get it out into the market. That idea he ended up pivoting away from, but he really instilled the mindset of being an entrepreneur when approaching the world as an inventor. And with that, he continued iterating, viewing new problems in the world, and trying to find his solution, and came up with the idea Sentinel, which he is now the founder of. With Sentinel, he originally went through our Level Up Launchpad program this previous fall to get the baseline understanding of how do I identify my customers' needs and design a solution that meets those needs. From there, he really hit the ground running and joined the Level Up Pre-Seed Accelerator at our Venture Home Eau Claire location, and I had the opportunity to work very closely with him over 5 months. From there, Isaac really put his head down, absorbed all the information myself and our other partners gave him, and continued to grow Sentinel. There were several pivots and several times where he persevered because he was having great success, but I'm very excited to see where Sentinel is. And in August 18th, he's actually going to be participating in our statewide pitch day and hopefully secure some capital to continue to grow Sentinel and bring it to the market. But without further ado, I'll invite Isaac up.
We didn't talk about this part.
You want me for the picture? Or?
Sure.
All right.
More the merrier.
A little bit? Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Well, hello everyone. I'll tell you just a little quick story. So once upon a time, there was a very young, curious young boy who used to duct tape and bungee styrofoam sheets to his arms and would continuously jump off his deck at home so he could learn how to fly. And I can tell you now that he's come a long ways from that, because now he's standing up here talking to you all. But I would say probably deep down, being a 25-year-old standing up here and accepting this award, I would say it's more so probably that little kid within me that's accepting this award, because it's always been a dream to make a difference to the world and contribute something that people can benefit from. So hopefully that journey keeps continuing on, and I want to thank WISIS for opening up that path for me and showing all the possibilities and all the things that I didn't quite know about this whole path, and I'm very fortunate to have been taught. And I'm looking very eager to learning more of it that WISIS can show. Right now, I'm working on my idea that Wilson mentioned with Sentinel, which is a shoe deodorizer that helps with foot odor and foot health for athletes and anyone that deals with that issue. So they're going to be a big stepping stone and a big crutch for me on my way to this path and hopefully success. So thank you.
Thank you, Isaac. To say some remarks then about our next awardee, I'm going to be inviting Ali Marty up to the podium. The next Carl Goldbranson Innovator of the Year award will be going to UW-Platteville professor, Dr. Nader Safari Shah.
I'm so happy that I can be up here today to talk about Nader. I have been working at WISIS for about 3 years, and he was probably the first faculty member who was like new to WISIS when I started. I went to a event with the dean's office, and he tracked me down. I think he was the only person I talked to that day, and he zoned in on me. And it honestly was the best feeling as someone who's trying to help faculty to have the faculty come to you and looking for your services. But he's just someone who always had a smile on his face, and even now, if you see him, I've never seen him almost without a smile, but he just really had this idea, and he's like, I've been working with the company, I know that this is a problem, it needs to come to fruition. And so we were able to work with him and have a patent that got filed. He's had 2 patents in his lifetime, but it's less about, obviously the patent is important, but it's really about the mindset that he emphasizes of like, this is a problem that I have seen in the world and I know how to fix it. And then the cool thing was we did this like basic technology, but then as he was working through that, he was seeing these other ways that it could be used out in the world and these other pathways that this technology could take to really make a difference in the electrical space with that. And so it's just been a great chance to work with him, and he's an inspiration to his students and an inspiration to me of really what it can be to be an innovator. He did receive a Spark grant and then a launch grant to be able to continue on with that work, and I'm excited to continue to see what he does. And he can never stop. Honestly, he's telling me, hey, I'm consulting with another company. He literally can't stop going out and being interested in what industry is doing and trying to work with them to solve problems. So I hope that also it will be an inspiration to all of you of just trying to work with the industry to solve real world problems. So congratulations, Nader.
Oh my God. You're all so smart and intimidating. So I brought my sheet. But before I get to the time permits, Ali said I always have a smile. That's actually part of my name. Shad in Farsi means happy. So you can't go against and safari, both in English and in Farsi, means traveling. So I'm a happy traveler. Anyways, it's so good to be here. I'm truly honored and humbled to stand before you today and receive this award. This recognition means a lot to me, but it's not a celebration for me alone. It's a reflection of the support and inspiration that I have received along the way. First and foremost, I want to thank Voices Technology for the incredible honor. This means a great deal to have my research recognized in this way, especially among so many talented researchers and dedicated peers. Research, as you know, is rarely a solo journey. I'm deeply grateful to my undergraduate students, not graduate ones, undergraduates, and Hoff Family Innovation Center in Plato. The staff there who helped me to prove my research idea experimentally. By nature, I'm a theorist. That's what they taught us in UW-Madison, just theory, no hands-on. But I'm blessed, with the number of students that we have at Plato who are very hands-on, so we did it together. To my family, my wife, son, and daughter, your patience and unwavering support have been my foundation. And finally, I accept this award, not as a conclusion, but as a motivation to keep asking questions, pushing boundaries, and contributing to the knowledge that shapes our world. Thank you again for this really incredible award. Thank you so much.
And then inviting Arjun back for our final awardee for the evening to say some remarks, we wanted to recognize UW Oshkosh professor Dr. Stephanie Spahar.
Yeah, so they told me that I only have so much time, but this is the last one, so settle down. All of our awardees, and actually all of you, they're superstars. It's really an honor and a privilege to get to recognize people. And like Nader said, I mean, I think that it is, with all of you, and it is true, it is a very difficult decision for us each year because we do want to recognize pretty much every one of you. You're all doing amazing work. I wanted to, as I talk about Stephanie, Dr. Spahar, I think that I was thinking of the story that she told, and I'm trying to think about how to tell that in not a WISES self-serving way. But I think that it is a really important story, and it kind of connects with how I talked about all of you during that faculty session. So, Dr. Spahar is the director of Sustainability Institute at UW Oshkosh. She was an Ignite grant recipient. She got a big grant from the National Science Foundation. She's a co-PI on our Forward Agriculture grant application. And, and she was instrumental in the 2023 Oshkosh hosting of our Spark Symposium, and it's just been a terrific collaborator with WISES over the years, very cheerful and always willing to help us, and immediately got what we were wanting to do when we first kind of connected with her. She has a patent, or I think you have a patent, as well. Well, with a collaborator. As Nadir said, we all do these things together. But understanding the story of how she got there, which is really impressive, and I say that, we played a part, but it's really her work and her journey. She started with her idea, and as a social scientist, of thinking about the challenge of lakes and the problem, with algal blooms in lakes, and how do we do something about that? And it's such a great story because, it fits into WISES so well. We are about helping innovators. It's not just inventors, it's not just patentable things, it's everyone. How are we getting you, the creative people, the resources that you need to do the incredible work that you do? And so she had this challenge because she tried to get federal funds for this and nobody would accept her applications. And then she applied, found out about our WISES programs, and applied for that funding, and was actually surprised that there was funding available for this, and got awarded some of that funding. That was the ARG grant, which is now the Ignite grants. And did an incredible job with that, and it's like the model of what you do with these things, right? Because she got her initial results and was then able to parlay that into going back to NSF and saying, look, you need to listen to me. This is important work, and I show you why it's important, and you need to fund this. And sure enough, she got her $1.5 million grant from the National Science Foundation. And now she's running the Sustainability Institute, which is a cornerstone of the Forward Agriculture engine. She's running the Translation to Practice group, has been working with a farmer and a researcher, and really leading us in that sector and helping, making sure that the engine is covering all aspects of farming, not just the technological aspects of farming. And so she's so deserving of this award. I'm so proud to be able to give it to her. So thank you, Stephanie. Well done.
supposed to follow that. I know that I'm the last thing standing between all of you and the reception, so I will try to keep this brief. But the first thing I want to say is really just a heartfelt thank you to Arjun, to Adira, to all of the team at WISIS. They have been incredible collaborators, incredible supporters over many years, but especially over the last couple years working on forward agriculture. And it's just been an honor to work with them and really an honor to receive this award. I also want to say, similar to what Nader said, that none of this work would happen without collaborators. All the work that I have been able to do has been because of collaborators and supporters. So I just want to make sure to thank my collaborators from UW Oshkosh, one of whom is sitting right there, Kevin Crawford, the collaborator on that patent, and on other projects as well, including the Harmful Albums project. Many other collaborators at UW-Madison, at other UW system schools, at many other places, community organizations, and students. I want to make sure to mention students, a lot of undergraduate students who've helped me. So I just want to say a heartfelt thank you to all of them. And I think the final thing I will say is I really want to emphasize something that Arjun talked about a little bit, which is the fact that, so I'm up here, I'm an anthropologist. My expertise is in interdisciplinary research and facilitating and supporting interdisciplinary research and doing that research, and research that really is sort of social science led. And this is something that might not be the first thing that people think of when they think of WISIS, right? But I have found a real home at WISIS, and I have been welcomed and supportive, and I think that says a tremendous amount about how, as Arjun was saying, WISIS approaches innovation. And this is something that we can see with forward agriculture, right? The understanding that's woven into that project that innovation isn't just technological or scientific, but it's also social, right? We need to create social innovation, and we need interdisciplinary approaches to do that. And interdisciplinarity is not easy. Anybody who's tried to do it knows this, bringing together different disciplines, different kinds of knowledge, different methods, different approaches to understand and address really challenging big problems, like the problem that forward agriculture is trying to address, right? Trying to create a more sustainable and resilient food system in Wisconsin. This isn't easy, but this is something that we need all these different approaches and types of knowledge coming together to address. And WISIS has really created the space for that. And that to me is an incredible thing, and it's an incredible thing that they've supported it, and I can't say enough about how appreciative I am of that support and how much this award means to me. So thank you so much.